In the next few minutes, I'm going to build a home valuation page that actually converts using real sold data from one zip code and a quiz that gets people to raise their hands. But before I do, I need to tell you why the one your brokerage gave you doesn't work and why it was never going to. So if you want to skip straight to the build, the timestamps are in the description below and I'm not going to be offended. But if you ever wondered why your valuation page kind of sits there collecting nothing, then stay with me for the next few minutes because this is the part no one ever explains to you. So quick intro, if you're new here, I am the Rook. I help agents put AI to work in their real estate business without the overwhelm. And on this channel, I show you exactly how. No fluff, just you, me, and my screen. And look, AI is moving faster in our industry than anything I've seen in 15 years. So hit subscribe because I don't want you getting left behind on the stuff that's about to matter. Okay, let's talk about it. Your brokerage gave you a home valuation page. So did the vendor at the last convention and the one kind of before that. So here's the problem with all of them. They were built to work for every agent in the company, which means they were built to work for no agent in particular. Yours looks exactly like the agent down the hall, and it looks exactly like the one agent that's like 3 cities over that's using it. Nothing about it says you know anything specific about anywhere. And then there's what is actually asking, what's your home worth? That was a great hook in 2015, but think about where we are now. Anybody with a phone can get a number in about 10 seconds without giving up their name. You are competing with an instant answer that costs them nothing. So a page whose entire offer is, give me your contact information and I'll satisfy your curiosity, is asking people to pay a price for something they can already get for free. And I say this to agents all the time. You have to be an effective marketer before you can be a realtor. And the key word there is effective. Putting a form on the internet is not marketing. Marketing is understanding what somebody actually wants and giving them a reason to choose you over the alternative. A generic valuation page does neither. And then there's the part underneath that, okay? A page built for a whole city or a whole brokerage cannot have real data behind it. So it does one of two things. It spits out an automated number, which is usually wrong, as estimate. And now you get to spend your first conversation with a seller talking them down from a number a robot gave them. Or it collects their information and promises somebody will get back to them, and nobody waits for that. So either way, the page breaks the promise it made in the headline. So let me show you what's actually possible, okay? You take one zip code. I'm going to use 75013 in Allen, Texas. That single zip code has around 20,000 housing units. Call it roughly 12 to 13,000 households. About 2/3 of them are owner occupied. Now in a normal market, roughly about 1 in 20 homes changes hands in a given year. So do the math on one zip code and you're looking somewhere in the neighborhood of around 400 listings a year in one zip code. Now, be honest with me, all right? Could you handle 400 listings this year? Yeah, neither could I. So you have never needed the whole city. You have needed to be the obvious choice in one small piece of it. And here's what the data actually says. A focused valuation page converts somewhere between 5 and 15%, where the regular agent's website converts closer to like 0.5% or maybe 1.5%. And the best ones, the ones that with a real offer behind them, hit anywhere from like 15 to 34%. And here's the part that kind of surprised me. Interactive content, quizzes converts around 47% compared to a 3% or under for a static form. And breaking the form into steps instead of like one long page actually increases conversion by 86% according to HubSpot. People finish quizzes, they abandon forms. So stop asking what's your home worth, ask them to guess. Most homeowners are off by more than they think, and telling people that they're probably wrong about something they own is a much better hook than offering them a number that they can just Google. So it's no longer about curiosity anymore. It becomes a challenge. And the person who takes that challenge is a person who's actually thinking about selling. And look, everything I just told you about like picking one zip code and owning it, it's not just like a tactic I came up for this video. It's 15 years of watching agents spread themselves out way too thin across like 75 zip codes and becoming nobody's obvious choice anywhere. I wrote a book about it. It's called The Want Zone. It's on Amazon, link in the description, shameless plug. So if this channel kind of gives you the how, then that book is going to give you like the why. And if this part of the video is landing, then that book is for you. All right, let's get into building this thing. Now, here is where it all begins. It all begins inside of Claude. Why? Because Claude is what we're going to be using for not only our kind of our big picture, letting it know what we're wanting to do, but it's also going to handle the actual building of the prompt that we're going to then take into Manus. Manus is the actual tool that's going to build our website, but we don't start there because while Manus is really good at building websites, Claude has the upper hand when it comes to instructions. Now, I'm going to be working off of a prompt that I give to my coaching clients. And so there's going to be slight variations in if you're doing this on your own. Okay. So what do you tell Claude? Well, first and foremost, you need to have Claude ask you questions. And the reason why I like having Claude ask you questions over you just kind of doing it yourself is for the simple fact that Claude can check to make sure that you're doing everything correctly. So what do I mean by that? Instead of you giving Claude kind of basic information, your name, your phone number, your email address, because that's kind of the contact information you want to have on this home valuation form, you want to tell Claude to ask you the appropriate questions for a realtor who is marketing in, and then you can give it your city and state. And the reason why is that Claude will go out and do the research to make sure that you might need your license number, you might not, you might need your legal name versus your brand. There's just little nuances that Claude's just going to double check. And if you know this stuff already, then fine, you can tell Claude straight away what you need. But that is what I like to do. In fact, that's the prompt that I build. Is going to ask me certain questions. And then we get into the prompt itself. So what is it that we are actually wanting Claude to tell Manus to do? We wanted to build a valuation page, but we want to do it in a couple of different ways. I'm going to tell you this, and you can watch this video and over again to kind of see what it is that you're looking to do. Okay. First and foremost is the question, the main question that we are asking. It is not what is your home worth? It is what do you think your home is worth? So that has to get done. And I want it to be big and bold. I want it to be across the top. I want it to be the biggest thing that people see. The next is when someone goes to fill this out, we want to make it a journey. Okay. You saw the stats that I gave you at the beginning of this video. And as we take someone through asking question by question, we want to do that. So what are the questions that we are going to have Claude tell Manus to ask one at a time? We're going to go through step one, which is the address. We need their address for their home because all of our information is based upon actual sold data. So we need that. And that address is going to do one of two things. One, the address is going to be inside of the zip code that we're wanting, which is awesome. If it is, then it's going to run through the rest of the questions, no problem. But if it gives me an address that is outside of the zip code, then it's going to let them know that this information was designed for this specific zip code. If you are outside of it, then it's going to give them a message. Okay, so then we come to the next step, and what you wanted to have is some basic information about the home. Again, condition, upgrades, how long they've owned it. This is not for the automated portion. Again, this is going to give them a range, but this is great information that you are going to receive when that person submits their information. So you have a better understanding when you get them the accurate number of their home that you can reach out to them. And then the next step, or the next question that we want to ask them is, what is their guess? Now, we don't want to give them ranges, okay? Don't make this mistake where you're like, okay, the next step, I want you to say, do they think their home is worth between this price, or this price? No. You want just a blank text box, and they're going to input a number, all right? And then the last one is going to give them information based upon the sold data that we are going to upload into this. Okay, so basically it's going to take the lowest price, the medium price, and then the highest price, and they're going to kind of guess where they're at inside of that. And then it's going to let them know where their guess is at, and then it's going to give your information, then letting them know that you're going to be contacting them soon with their actual number. And that's really it. Now, if you want a more detailed prompt as far as how to work this, and I'll let you know at the end of this video how to get that, or you can kind of just check the description. But this is easy, and you can do this simply by telling Claude what it is that you want them to do, or what is it you're asking Claude to do, which is, I want you to build me a prompt that I can take to Manus that's going to build this thing for me. So I want to show this to you. I'm in an incognito window. Let's go ahead and go through this process. So I'm going to copy my prompt, and I'm going to paste it in. And then I'm going to go, let's do your thing. Now, I'm doing it incognito because I'm trying to do a realistic scenario that you would kind of go through. What this isn't going to have is my voice. that can come later, or if you've already gone through my video, and again, I'll put a link or a little text box. You can click on that if you haven't watched my video on how to make AI sound like you. So let's go through this. I'm going to help you build a home valuation quiz. Perfect. Let's start with the basics. What zip code is this for? I already told you guys. I'm going to base this in 75013, which is Allen, Texas. Perfect. I need details to go on the page so that it looks like it belongs to you. What is your name, brokerage name, and your license number if Texas requires it on your marketing? Okay. So let me go ahead and put that information in. And now it's going to ask for my email address because it needs to have some place to send these leads to, which is awesome because I'm about to get lots of them. All right, 2 more questions. Do you have a headshot that you want to be on the screen? If you have one, just tell me you've got it ready and I'll build the page so you can drop it in. If not, I'll have Manus do it. Now, here's what I will tell you and want to save you some trouble. You can put a headshot here. I wouldn't, and the reason why is that Manus is going to ask you for it again. So I'll just tell Claude that I'll just do it. Let me just do that right now. I'll go ahead and upload my photo when Manus asks me for it. Real quick, if you are wanting to talk to your computer instead of having to type, I cannot recommend WhisperFlow enough. I'll go ahead and put it in the description if you want to check it out because it has made my life so much easier. That's not a sponsor. I'm just letting you know it's an awesome tool you can use. Back to this. All right, sounds good. I'm going to build the prompt so Manus asks you for a headshot during the build and drops it into the agent card on the reveal screen. I love it. Last question before I rate this up. Is there anything true and specific about your experience in that zip code that you want on the page, like the number of homes you've sold or how long you've worked that area? If you don't have anything solid to point yet, that's completely fine. I'll leave it up to you. Okay, that works. I'm not going to put anything here because if you've never been in an area that you're wanting to go after, or this is a newer area for you to market, you don't have that much information. I just want you to know you don't have to like, oh, now I got to stop this and do a whole bunch of research. It's fine. I'm just going to put, I don't have any solid information about this zip code. This is a new area for me. Not that it is, I'm just saying that. And so what Manus is going to do is going to take my information, is going to know what I'm going to do. Now, if you notice, I'm not telling it everything I want it to do because I've already done the work for that. Okay, you absolutely can use Claude to help you work out a way to help you ask Claude to build it for you. So you could even do this beforehand, not a big deal. You could tell Claude, hey, this is what I'm wanting to build. Help me write an interview for you to ask me later and build it. Or you could just ask it straight away. But it says, here is everything you need. Just to give you take a look at this, what it builds a very significant prompt. Let me go back to this so you guys can see it. I'll even zoom in a little bit on it. That's a little bit better. It's going to analyze the data first. So what it's telling Manus to do is like, hey, we're about to upload information. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just 1 second. But you're about to get information from the MLS, and this is what I want you to do with it. Here's my information. Here's the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, the reveal screen. This is everything I need Manus to do, okay? So we are about to head into Manus, but before I can go into Manus, I need to go to my MLS and get the information that Manus is going to be using as the backbone. And that is going to make this home valuation page just that much stronger because it's based on real information. Okay, let's go there now. All right, so I'm inside of the MLS system. We use Netris because we're in the North Texas area. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking to get the closed data or sold data, and we're going to go out. Let's go out 6 months, so that'd be 180 days. I'm going after Texas. I'm going to put the zip code that I'm going after here. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and choose single family and go ahead and do single detached. And I've got 230 matches. Let me go ahead and click on results. Now, here's the important thing to know. Okay, I want you to pay attention. I need for you to listen to my face. There are 2 reports that we need to come out of here to give to Manus so that it does what it needs to do. So I want to show you how to do that and which ones to show. So maybe you have this in your MLS. Mine does not, or at least I've yet to figure out a way to do this, but I need to get all this information. Now, this shows me that I am looking at 100 lines of information, but in total, I have 230 properties. So I'm going to have to click on this box And if you have an MLS that lets you export all this, that's awesome. I don't know how to do that. And if you do know, if you use Netris, then do me a favor, drop it in the comments. Let me know how to export all this at one time. I know there's a way to do it. I just can't figure it out. All right, so I've got all of the properties highlighted. I'm going to come down to the bottom and click on export. And here are the two reports that you need to do, okay? You need the agent single line reports. I'm going to export that. And then I need the hot sheet, okay? I need not a copy of the hot sheet. I need hot sheet. That's what I want to export. So I'm going to export that. Now, that's just one page. I have to go back. If you just do that, then you're only grabbing 100 listings. So I've got to go back. I've got to go to the next page, which is page 2. I'm going to repeat this process. Select all, go down to export, choose the single agent or single line. Totally forgot the name of it. The agent single line. I'm going to export that. And then I'm going to choose the hot sheet. I'm going to export that. I'm going to come back. Okay, I'm going to go to the last page. Boom. There's only 30 here. Click on the box. It highlights everything. Go to my export. Agent single line. I'm going to export that. How come I'm not actually exporting these? Because I've already done this. So I'm just going through the steps so that you know how to do this, all right? But I've already gone ahead and done this. Agent single line I'm needing as well as the hot sheet. So I've got 2 reports for 3 pages. So I've got 6 pieces total, okay? Got those ready to go. Now we can head to Manus and let's do that now. Alrighty, so I am here inside of my Manus account. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that Claude prompt that it gave me. And again, that's all the instructions. It's going to talk to Manus the way that Manus loves to be talked to. And that's where we start. In addition to my instructions for Claude, I need to give it the data that's going to become the backbone of this valuation page. So I need to upload those files as well. So let me go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to click on plus. I'm going to click on add from local files and go to downloads. And here are those files right here. Let me grab them all and I'm going to upload them. Okay. Give it a second. When you see this, that's awesome. There are CSV files, which is what I need. And then I'm going to click on send. Okay. Manus is going to think about this and let's see what it comes back with. I read through your files. That is awesome. Guys, it read through, if I can talk about this because this is just so cool. It has read through 230 lines of sold data in one zip code to help build a very detailed valuation form that's going to be incredibly accurate. That is awesome. Let me just say. Okay, let me get back to this. Alrighty, so if you're keeping track, that took about, I would say, a minute and a half, and then it gives me my value band. Basically, it's going to give me the range, letting me know, hey, I've evaluated this sold data. This is what I found. If it's not what you have found, let me know, okay? So this is where you absolutely can trust Manus to understand and interpret MLS data. It's probably one of my favorite things to do with Manus, but if you also want that human in the loop, this is what this does. This is why it's stopping. It's not building it. It's going through and giving me all the information. This is what I found. Any adjustments before I build the page? Does this look right for you? This is what's called HITL, okay? And when you're working with AI, HITL is very important. What does HITL stand for? It stands for human in the loop. And you just want to make sure that I'm just not going to leave it up to AI. Okay. I, as a realtor, need to understand this information. I need to know this area. So I need to look over that and go, yeah, okay, this actually looks good. So does this look right to you? Any adjustments before I build it? It looks right for me. Go ahead and build this. Let me go ahead and tell that. Using WhisperFlow and put my cursor right inside this window, hit 2 buttons on my keyboard and go, that looks awesome. Go ahead and start building the page. Goes ahead and types it for me. And all I got to do is hit the button and it's going up. Now, while this is going to start the project, here's what I will let you know. AI is fast. It is incredible. I love to watch it work. It is so good. However, you are asking Manus to build you a website that's got multiple stages and is doing a lot. So if it takes 10, 12 minutes, that's still lightning fast as someone who has built many a website. So just to let you know, it is going to be fast, but it's not going to be fast as simply you asking for something and it returning it back you the answer like a chat mode. This is a building mode. It's building everything from scratch. So be a little patient. You can still do other work inside of other tabs as Manus has continued to work. If it does have an additional question for you, it will come back and ask. So you just want to kind of keep checking on it. If you, and even said that as I was talking, it says, hey, here's the multi-step, all this information, this was going to do, this is what I've got, is all these features correct that you want me to add? And I'm going to go yes, go ahead and click next. It's like, all right, got the AI value home estimator using a large language model. That's what you're doing, build it now. Okay, and now it's going to go through the process of building. I will come back here when it is all said and done so we can tell exactly how long it took. We are back and it has built. I would probably say that took less than 10 minutes if I'm being honest. However, here is the thing that I want to get really clear with you. It had clear instructions. It had steps, it had everything, but I want you to take a look at my screen. It did not say, what do you think your home is worth? It even gave the information right up front. And it's like started like, give me the full address, and it's got my information down at the bottom. But this is, this is not what I wanted. So it happens. Again, I've been writing prompts for a very long time, and I will tell you, maybe 80% of the time it's going to come out exactly like you had, but sometimes it messes up. So this is where you have to just not get upset, not get frustrated. But this is just me going back through and saying, hey, I need for you to follow the following instructions that I had laid out previously, because this in no way follows them. And I'm going to paste those instructions. And I'm going to say, just as a reminder, I love the graphic behind it. However, the question is not what is your Allen home worth? It is, what do you think your Allen home is worth? That is the question. And then reread these instructions to follow them. Just use Whisperflow to do that. And then I'm going to do that. So I'm not going to publish this yet because it wasn't done right. And the thing about Manus is going to go, got it, let me rebuild it. And let's go ahead and try it again. So it's going to do this. And I want you to think about, if you had someone that was building you a website or a company that's building you a home valuation page and it wasn't done right, you'd have to reach out to them. There'd have to be a dialogue back and forth, and it might come out right, it might not. This is that version of it, but just happening a lot faster, which is okay. So again, we're going to let Manus do his thing, and I will come back here when it is finished. Alrighty, we are back, and it did a much better job. I did have like one other tweak that I made it do. Again, I just want to be transparent with you guys. But this site is ready to go. So let's go ahead and publish it now. This is the thing about Manus sites. You absolutely can have Manus publish it, because here's the thing. If you were simply to preview this, okay, if I can click on the button, I can preview it. It's not a link I can share until I click on the publish button. So until I click this right here, anyone with the link can see this. Until I publish it, then I really can't send this link out. So I always want to make sure that I'm going to publish this site. And then the next phase of this is us going ahead and testing it out. So let's go ahead and do that next. All right, guys, so here we are at the site. This is what it will look like. Let's check to see if it is a mobile friendly. Yeah, and it adjusts to the size of my screen, which is always nice to see. Let's go ahead and put this back. And now I'm going to find out what my home is worth by clicking on that. The very first thing it's going to ask me is my address. Let me just choose one inside of the zip code first. That is, and I like how it gives me this kind of progression bar. It says 1 of 4. Let me see if I can zoom in on this so you guys can see this a little better. It would adjust nicely. So it's going to say, hey, tell us about your home. What's the overall condition? I'm going to say, you know what? It's pretty well maintained. And then any kind of upgrades, and I'll say brand new HVAC in 2024, and we got a brand new roof in 2020. How long have you owned this home? We're going to say 5 to 10 years, and we're going to click on continue. Let me go back to 0. And now it's going to ask me, and then this is where things are changing. It says, what do you think your home is worth? And it just gives me this number. So I'm going to say $875,000. It says no wrong answer. We're curious what number is in your head. We'll compare it to the actual market data. So I'm going to click on continue. Let's go to the next phase. Let's see what happens. Now it's going to ask, okay, almost there. Enter your contact information to receive your personalized home value. I'm going to go and put my information in here. Preparing my summary. So it gives me this information. Here's what Alan Market says about your home. And then it's going to say, hey, here's the kind of the market. And then your exact number is on its way. Okay. It does put at the bottom, if they want to set up a free consultation. You guys are more than welcome to kind of read through this. Hey, it's understandable to want a clear picture of your home's value, especially with the upgrades you've made. You've owned it for 5 to 10 years. You're estimating 825, your value. The medium sold price in your zip codes around this. The price ranges, from here to here. And it's going to give them the actual data based upon sold data, but it's your expertise. It's your information that's going to come in here. Now, if you are looking at this as like, yeah, there's no way I want to give them that much information because they might talk themselves out. Well, then all you have to do is tell Manus, I don't want this built. Okay. I don't want this in here. Hey, on this, reveal page, don't put that, explanation in there. Just give them, their market data. And I've done this a couple of ways. I actually had the medium price, the top price, the low price, and then I had this arrow kind of had this animation until it hit their guess, which I thought was kind of cool. So you can do this any number of ways. I've just done several iterations for my coaching clients. It's completely up to you, but how cool is that? Because guess what? I just got a lead. Okay. And let me show you where that happens. All right, so I am here in my inbox. Up at the very top, I have got a new lead. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this so you guys can see it. And it says new lead. It has my contact information. It kind of gave me what I guessed. It gave me information about this. And that's awesome. That is so, so good. So again, we've built this site. We use Claude to have this built. And that is great. But we're not done yet because I wanted to do something extra special with you guys because I want to help you take the answers that it gave you, that email that I got, and help you draft a really good response. And I'm going to show you that right now. Alrighty, so I am back in Claude and I'm going to tell Claude, hey, this is what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to be a writing partner. Okay. I've got a lead that came in and I gave it the context. So it says, a homeowner filled out my valuation page. I promised them a real number delivered by me personally, and I'm going to give you what they told me, okay, and the comparable sales I pulled from the MLS. So remember those reports that we pulled out of the MLS? We're going to give it to Claude along with the set of instructions, and it's going to help me draft a response, okay? So let me copy this prompt. I'm going to paste it inside of here, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add the files that I downloaded from the MLS and put those in here as well. So I gave it instructions. I said, hey, I want you to write me an email and let's go ahead and put this up here. And this is awesome. And again, if you're doing this yourself, if you don't want to get these prompts that I've pre-written for you, basically you're telling Claude, hey, I want you to, here's the response I got from this client. Here is the sold data. And now here is, what I want you to do with it. And it's going to go ahead and go through this. So it gave us an email based upon the information, based upon the lead, and it went ahead and gave me a very, very cool email that starts off, hey, thanks for filling out the form. It mentions the information that the lead gave me, and then it says this is what is actually sold nearby, and it lists out everything, and it says what that tells me is that homes in your size range in Star Creek are trading between roughly $215 and $240 per square foot. That's awesome. Based upon those sales, my opinion of the value of your home is anywhere between this. That's my professional read supported by real comps, not a computer estimate. And it's a range and purpose. Guys, how much time is this going to save you? This pulled comps, okay? It went through every sold home in that zip code and understands the comparable information that it gave it. And it's just so good. I'm sorry. This is the kind of stuff I love about doing that is more on the process side of what we do as realtors that this can help out with. Let's go back and finish it up. If you want, I'm happy to walk the home to tighten that range into a single number. It takes about 30 minutes. There's no charge. There's no obligation to list anything. If you're just gathering information for now, that's completely fine too. I can keep you posted on what sells around you so the number stays current. Just reply to this email and let me know what works. And it's got your contact information at the bottom. That's awesome. That's ready to go. And now what we've done is we've created a seam line between you getting the lead, and all you got to do is have a prompt in Claude ready to go. You give it the sold data again that you gave to Manus to even make this thing happen. You take the response, you plug it into Claude, you tell it what you want, and boom, you got a response that you can very quickly, very easily send out. And the best part is that you could go back and do this over and over and over again. Once you have a conversation that's dedicated to responses, you just keep coming back to that conversation. It's like, I got another lead, give me an email for this. I got a lead, give me an email for this. And because it wrote you an email, it could also write you a text message, a video email script, a video text message script if you want to leverage the power of video into your stuff. And it can do all that very, very quickly. How good is that? So that's a valuation page that's actually built on something, real sold data from one zip code, a quiz that converts instead of a form that doesn't, an honest answer if people are outside of your area hitting it, and a follow-up that keeps the promise the page made. Now, I just walk you through the whole thing. So if you want to go build it yourself, do it. More power to you. But if you don't feel like fighting with the data, the build, the branching, and the follow-up, wondering if you set it up right, I put the whole system into one pack. The prompts that build your value band, the page, the follow-up report, the marketing playbook, everything. The link is in the description. It's just $47. And honestly, grabbing it helps support the channel so I can kind of keep making these things for you. Either way, whether you buy it or build it yourself, you walk out of here knowing how to do it. All right, I put something new out every week, all built for agents who want to put AI to work in their real estate business kind of without the overwhelm. So subscribe and stick with me because this is moving fast. And the agents who keep up are going to have a real edge over the ones who don't. And remember, this is a game of life. Make your move.